Hello, everybody. Welcome to recap video. I hope that everybody had an awesome time this weekend, back in buildings, back doing what we were originally hired to do, making the thing happen in a room, people coming in. I've heard nothing but awesome feedback, that rooms were packed to the capacity that they could be, that, teams worked really well together. It was so good to be back worshiping. So I'm grateful to be back doing the thing with you guys and excited for what is to come. We kicked off the journey last week, week 1 of the Good God journey. I don't think that it's a better time in our world for the people to hear this, to hear that even though life is hard right now, even though there's just a lot of darkness going on, when you wrestle with the question, is God still good? The answer is always yes. I'm so glad that that's what we're talking about for these next few weeks, and excited to see what comes from it. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through week 2 this coming week of the journey. I know yesterday in the production meeting, more techs and representatives were able to come to that meeting, so hopefully that was helpful, and this can just serve as a quick recap. If you have any questions about any of it, please feel free to reach out to myself, Ty. Be happy to help you. And I'm going to go through the plan, and then I'm going to give quick bullet points for next weekend so that you guys are prepared. So similar to what we did this weekend, we are going to play that How to Journey video in the last minute 40 of the countdown. So with a minute 40 left to 0, we'll fire that How to Journey video, get people on the same page, what's going on, how to engage in the journey. After that video, CPs will be up. Same thing. Welcome. We're glad you're here. And here are the logistics that come along with being here in the midst of COVID. Wearing a mask, social distancing, checking in, and then they will set up worship. Setting up worship will lead into worship leaders singing. There are 2 hard points this week. Those hard points are Good Father, which will be at the top of the worship block. And then the Father's House is another hard point, and that will be at the bottom. BT will lead into that song, not as a reprise, but to go at the end of service. So in the worship block at top of service, 3 songs. One of them needs to be Good Father. Oakley's doing Lord, You Are Good and Never Let Go. Lord, You Are Good seems to be a really great through line for the journey overall. BT loves Lord, You Are Good. And I know Josh said this yesterday in production meeting, but I would not be surprised if that song was involved in some type of closer of the series. So I would just say make sure that you're using it to an extent throughout the journey. Doesn't need to be this weekend, but just something to note. And then as far as scripture goes in worship, 1 John 1:3 or James 1:17 would be good scriptures to use, and you can use that as you wish to. And then worship leader will pray something, sit, up to you, be creative. CPs will then be up for another CP moment. So last week, that CP moment, could have done whatever you wanted with it. A lot of sites I know chose to do a giving type moment. Great. This week, we want to kind of go around the idea of a group experience. What has been the CP's group experience, being involved in groups in a journey, and how that has impacted them, just so that people can hear from their CPs, and also a quick push to be in a group. They will also do a giving setup, and that's important to note. I do believe Ty said this yesterday. We will always do an offering or giving setup unless told otherwise. So regardless of the moment at hand, there will always be some type of giving setup. Then we will be into Kyle and Hannah, another intro video. This week they are going around Kroger in their yellow jumpsuits, handing out yellow balloons. It's very joyful. It's very fun. That video will come after the CP moment, which will lead into BT. And somewhere within BT's message, we have our very own Good God story from Dawn. It's really great. I'm excited for everyone to see it. And that will go somewhere along his message. I'll let you know when that comes on Saturday or Sunday when it happens. And then, like I said, BT will lead into the Father's house, and CPs will come up to react and dismiss. CPs can mention Kids Club is opening in 2 weeks. Not less logistics of what Kids Club will look like and more leading people to go to crossroads.net/reopen, and then they can get all the details about Kids Club and what that's going to look like. So I'm really pumped for this weekend. We're talking about the love, the Father's love, and how kind and joyful and gentle it can be. So I'm excited for this weekend. I'm going to give you guys a quick recap of next weekend of what I know. What I know is we are thinking that at the top of service, Kyle and Hannah's quick intro is going to happen. CPs will be up. Also, next weekend, worship leaders are going to have a modeling moment. So if you wanted to start thinking about that, We Say Yes is the hard point. And 4 worship songs, including We Say Yes. So those are all things to note. And then it's also going to be the first weekend that we're doing in-building service, but we're using the online teaching from BT. So that will look a little different. The whole teaching will be obviously on the screen, but taken from the online teaching. And then CPs will also get a chance to have a 7 to 10 minute teaching block after BT to kind of respond, talk about God. This week in particular, it's about God being a good king. And then there'll be some type of reprise at the end, and then CPs can dismiss. So that's the overall plan. Things to note: 4 worship songs. We Say Yes is a hard point. There will be a worship leader modeling moment. And CPs will also have a chunk of time to do some type of teaching. So that is this week's plan and quick bullet points for next weekend. Again, if you guys have any questions, please reach out. I am in Oakley on Sundays, so if you have any questions in the middle of the thing happening, please reach out. And I am so excited for week 2 of the journey. Hope you guys have an awesome week, and wishing you all the best this weekend.